Congratulations for finding this video. Anthony Hendrickson coming to you here today, and what I'm going over is a couple tips and trips in this video series to help you become your own boss. Do you ever feel with your business that sometimes you plateau, or things start to slow down? You kind of get to that point where your business just isn't clicking on all cylinders like it used to? Yeah, trust me, we've all been there, we've all done that. So what I can share with you here today in this video is a couple things that I found that actually have kind of, once I get to that plateau, actually made it so I could excel on and keep producing my business the way I want to. What I actually want to go over today is kind of what I've been going over, and kind of something that I remind myself, and I usually try to use some type of an acronym or something like that. So these ones is actually going to be 3 A's is how I remember these little tips and tricks that I want to share with you guys here in this video. So stay tuned. First A that I want to talk about is attention. Do you feel like you need to grab your audience's attention? You need to find something that sparks something new and create some attention around what you're doing? That's the first day that we want to touch on. First tip that I have is for this attention is stories. And I kind of, when I first was going to do this video, I was just going to touch on one actual social media platform, but I figured I'd start with this one for this very reason, because we see stories on multiple platforms. And the reason why I suggest stories is because as soon as you pop into your social media platform, stories is kind of the first thing that we see. It's the new thing. It's what people are up to at that moment or close to within 24 hours, depending on the platform. So I recommend stories for the first for getting and grabbing that attention of people, because they are so easy to access. That Facebook stories are, I find that Facebook stories are vastly underused. Facebook stories, Instagram stories, pretty much anywhere you can get a story, I feel like they're underused. People are picking up on them more now. And I think, so you do see that, but rather than just posting something on your wall, at least with stories, I mean, how often have you found yourself just going from one story to the next, maybe even losing some time here or there, but stories, you just flow into the next one, and they're right at the top of your page, right at the top of your feed, and it's kind of where everyone is starting to spend a lot more time now. And as I'm sure you've seen, Instagram stories are also widely popular and used by everyone, and it's once again right at the top, kind of the first thing that everyone sees. So that's kind of why I wanted to touch on stories, because we see them on every platform. Everyone's kind of using them a little bit, but rather than just posting to your Instagram, for instance, you could do your normal post, and then on top of that, you could be posting several times a day. I've seen some people that post up to once an hour on their stories, and honestly, if it's good content, you can never really have too much on those stories, as long as, like I said, as long as the content is good, you'll be fine. So I would post those stories all day long if you can. The Instagram stories and Facebook stories, it's almost the closest next thing to going live. Now, going live it's great. It's a powerful tool. It's not all the recited. It's not the video edits. It's not everything that you might see on YouTube or something like that. Going live it's a genuine personal way for you to connect with your audience. They see you going live. They can interact with you live, ask you questions, answer your questions. Going live is just a powerful thing as well. So I think that is the next closest thing to shooting an actual video, where people can get to know you, and they see the unedited versions and all the good qualities that you have. Going live gives you the instant to just get on there, go live, interact with your audience, and it just gives you that an unproduced way for you and your audience to interact, and it's a great thing. It's exciting. You don't have to worry about sitting down for a while. It's off the cuff and genuine. And also going live, it can be consistent, just like anything. So the more consistent you are, probably the better you're going to be getting at your lives. And if people know that you're going live once a week or once a day, or however often you're going live, if you do promote those and pre-promote those, then people know where to find you and when. So humans like that consistency factor, that's for sure. So the second A that I want to cover today is ask. So feel free to ask your questions, ask your audience, ask your viewers. If you're on a live, if you're shooting something live, or if it is in your story, I mean, they have different ways that you can be asking all kinds of questions, and then it's just not talking to yourself or at yourself. You're actually getting engagement from people that want to give you their input. And not all the time is the input the best or something that you want to listen to, but more often than not, if you know your audience, you're going to be getting good answers to the questions that you're asking. And one really powerful way, especially on Instagram, that you can actually ask questions is you can ask right on there. You can put your little button in there for yes or no. So it's just one click that you're actually polling your audience and trying to find the answers to the question that you want to know. So now, like I said, for the most part, you're kind of limited to your yes and no answers that you can have to make things a little bit easier. There are ways to go more in depth with that, which I won't touch on with this video, but right there, you can ask a simple yes or no question and you can poll your audience and they'll give you the answer that you're looking for, whether if it's yes or no, or, you know, their input. You ask and you're going to get that immediate engagement. Now, the first time you do it, is it going to be a lot of engagement? Probably not, but it's just like anything. The more you do it, the better not only you're going to get at it, but your audience is going to get better at it as well. And they'll be answering more and more and more. So just keep in mind that just because you find yourself or know someone that might be on Facebook all the time, that is not necessarily the case for everyone. Social media is great, but not everyone has all day long to sit on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform it might be. So a simple poll question might be able to get through to those people that might only check their feed once a day or check their social media site that hour of that day or before bed or in the morning or whenever people are on there. Get some engagements or fill in the blanks. You can ask a question. So your favorite city is blank, or your favorite color is blank. You know, just get the question that you're looking for, or whatever answer that you want, you know, get that all framed up for them so they just have to fill in a blank. So I find that people are a lot more eager to give you their answers when they flow easily. And then, like I touched on before, polls. Polls make it easier for people. Polls are, you know, the yes or no answers. So who's not going to engage in on that if it is a valuable question or something they want to answer to themselves? And then one other way is ask for opinions. A lot of times you just need to ask people. Now, are people willing to give you whatever's on their mind all the time, everywhere? No, not necessarily, but how often do you ask someone something and they just don't answer you? So feel free to ask for opinions. You can ask for opinions on really whatever you want the answer, you know, ask for opinions on a new logo or a banner ad or something that you're working on. Or I see some men and women ask for outfit ideas, things like that. Do you like this? Do you like that? So feel free to ask for those opinions. And it's kind of like goes back to anything. If you don't ask, how do you expect them to get an answer for something? 3 ways that I've used to find or to bring more engagement to my social medias. You know, feel free to use those 3 tips. I think all of them are just going to do nothing but boost engagement. So those are all 3 effective tips that I've found to be very useful. And one thing that I have to remind myself from time to time is social media is a dialogue, not a monologue. So when I mean dialogue, it means you're speaking with someone, talking to someone. It's not just people here to watch you talk about whatever it is that you want to talk. So feel free to engage and converse using all 3 of these methods. Ask and you shall receive. If you're just talking at people, there's a very good chance they're probably going to tune out at some point. I think that just talking at people is going to make it so they tune you out even quicker. And then the 3rd A that I want to touch on today is audit. And I can't stress this enough. Sometimes you just need to slow down, take a look back, and look at what you've already done. Audit. If you find yourself posting the same things over and over and over again, people are going to tune out. They're going to lose interest. So that's why I suggest auditing. Not only auditing your good posts, but your not so good posts, posts that you see that people like. Going back and auditing is a very valuable thing. And auditing is a lot like tracking. If you're not tracking, then you're not really working your business to its full potential. You need to be auditing. Every social platform has some type of an auditing system. They have their own built-in versions of way to do auditing. It's called analytics. So you can pay attention to the analytics on every platform. They'll give it to you, give you the solid numbers, or if you're not that involved with it, just go back through and take a look at what you're doing. You know, make sure you make notes of which posts are doing well, which ones are doing not so well. What can you do to come up with another outcome? So auditing is a very, very valuable thing that I think a lot of people, you know, sweep under the rug, and they are not quite as in tune as they should be. As you're looking at your analytics, or you're going back and look at your previous posts, you know, make sure and take those notes and see what you're doing, see what's working and see what's not. Those are all things that either you're going to want to do more of or less of, depending on your outcome. If you're looking for more engagement and you find that, you know, posting about certain things, whether if it's current news or things that happen in some type of social media Twitter or something, if you see something that works over there, you can always try that over here on this platform. And just make note, keep doing what works well for you, what you like doing. And one other thing that I like to do personally is take a look around at other people on your platform, other people in your niche. What are they doing? What do you see that's working well for them? If you see someone who's just killing it on Facebook Lives or killing it on their posts, and they have all kinds of interactions, and I'm not saying necessarily copy them, but feel free to use what they're using or what they're doing to become successful. And odds are it's going to work probably in the same favor as you. Now, it's going to work right away. Well, maybe not right away, but it's after doing it for a couple of times, if it's successful for them, why can't it be successful for you? And with that being said, sometimes you need to step away from your niche or step away from the platform that you're using, or your community that you're in. Sometimes stepping away and seeing what people are doing outside is a very valuable way where you can take a look at what's going on out there and then bringing it back with you. Sometimes we all hang around the same place too often, and then we all start to sound alike. We all start to look alike. We're doing all the same things. Well, once in a while, just take a walk around the block and see what's working for other people outside of your industry and bring that back. So step out, take a look at other industries, bring that back. You bringing something like that back might just make you stand out that much more, where people are like, oh, what's he doing? Where do you get this idea from? So just because it's not happening exactly where you're at now doesn't mean that it won't work. Auditing doesn't just go for yourself, it goes for other people as well. So like I said, sometimes you got to step out and look what other people are doing and make an audit of that and how you can use that to help you. And with that being said, don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to step outside the box and maybe try something new. You can jump on there, who knows, maybe it's something you're going to really end up liking to do, which makes it always easier. And sometimes you're going to experiment with some things that you don't like to do. Well, then you don't like to do it. To test, get out there, try new things, do different things. Worst case scenario, you're going to know if you really like to do it or if you really don't like to do it. Either way, I think the outcome is very powerful. This auditing process and in the different stories and engagement and everything that we covered in this video today, one thing that I really can't stress enough about is YouTube. YouTube can help you grow no matter what platform it is, no matter what story you're looking to, but YouTube just kind of keeps on going on and on. And on top of that, it's a search engine as well. So everyone's going to YouTube and searching for these things now. YouTube is going to help you grow any social media platform. It's going to help you grow your email list. It's going to keep growing and growing, and it's a very powerful tool. The powerful thing, or another powerful thing about YouTube, is its evergreen content. So it's always going to be there. Heaven forbid that you don't get shut down for doing something that you're not supposed to be doing or that they don't want you doing, but it's always going to be there. So you can produce this content. If it's not the best content, you can always go back and redo something at some point in time once you get a little bit better at doing that. But YouTube is always going to be around, and it's only growing. And if you're interested in YouTube, there's my channel, there's plenty of other channels. Feel free to subscribe to this. If you like this video, you can even hit the bell notification. I'll let you know when all my videos come out. And not only this video, but there's going to be weekly videos coming out, evergreen content, so it's always going to be growing. Feel free to subscribe to this page, and further notifications will come out. We'll keep growing. We'll keep adding to these videos. So if you're just learning, if you're experienced, hopefully there's something for everyone. Once again, I'm Anthony Hendrickson. Thank you for checking out this video. Like I said, there will be more videos like this coming in the future, so feel free to subscribe to the page. Go ahead and click that bell notification button, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.